From light heavyweight to heavyweight, Jon Jones is making a move that's sure to shake up the MMA world. With his legendary performance in the octagon, it's no surprise that Jones has been one of the most dominant forces in the light heavyweight category. But seeing him make a move to a heavier weight class is something else entirely. Jon Jones was pretty desperate to make a move to the heavyweight division for quite a few reasons. The main one being his belief that it'll bring new energy and passion back into his fighting career. After several years at light heavyweight, Jones feels his time in the division has come to an end following a close fight against Dominic Reyes that could have gone either way. He wants to step out while his passion for the division is still strong.
Vicious knee to the body and an uppercut. Jones to the body, and it is all over! Jon Jones is the youngest champion!
And he believes a move to heavyweight will allow him to reach his destiny of becoming a heavyweight champion. At heavyweight, Jones has the potential to take on some of the best fighters in the world, including established contenders like Stipe Miocic or Cyril Gane, as well as upcoming talents like Tom Aspinall and Tai Tuivasa. He knows that he will need to work hard to reach the return he is envisioning, but Jones is confident that winning the heavyweight championship is in his destiny. With this move, Jon Jones has the opportunity to make a huge impact in the MMA world. He has already proven himself as one of the most dominant forces in the light heavyweight category, so it will be interesting to see how he performs at heavyweight. It's sure to be an exciting journey for Jones, and one that fans are eagerly awaiting. Some believe that Jon Jones' move to heavyweight is an attempt to clear past controversies and rewrite his legacy. After numerous failed drug tests cast a shadow over his light heavyweight reign, many think Jones sees the move as a chance to start fresh and establish himself as one of the GOATs in the sport.
Now he's going for Kimura. It is all over! Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion!
At heavyweight, Jones will be able to take on some of the preeminent fighters in the world, and if he is successful in his endeavors, it will give him a chance to firmly set himself apart from the issues that have plagued him for so long. Furthermore, with superior fight IQ and experience, Jones has an advantage over many of the less technical heavyweights. His intelligence and experience is something that can't be taught, and if he applies it correctly, then he could have a lot of success in the division. There's also another place where this move will have a lot of impact, and that's his bank account. Jon Jones is now the highest paid heavyweight in the UFC, and it's clear that his move to the division was worth it. With a new 8-fight deal that includes a lucrative pay package, Bones has become one of the top earners in the company, perhaps even surpassing former champions such as Brock Lesnar and Khabib Nurmagomedov. His new deal with the UFC will make him the highest paid heavyweight in UFC history, making more money than ever before. While Jones has always been a high earner in the sport, this new deal will finally put him in the same ballpark as UFC superstars such as Conor McGregor, who is consistently at the top of the earnings list.
Alvarez getting loose, getting better here in this round, though.
Oh, man.
Until that.
Oh, he's done. He's done.
History has been made. Conor McGregor is the UFC lightweight champion.
With his move to heavyweight, Jon Jones can now look forward to more lucrative fights against many of the best heavyweights in the world. Jon Jones is also expected to make much more money from pay-per-view buys than ever before. This means that as he continues to fight in the UFC, his paychecks are only going to get larger. With Jones' massive fan base and popularity, he is sure to draw big numbers when he steps into the cage. Many believe his move to heavyweight could end up being remembered as one of the greatest career choices in mixed martial arts, but it could also lead to a monumental failure, with Jon having left his leap to the 205-pound division too late. While some might argue that ring rust isn't a real thing, many fighters have come back from lengthy absences in the octagon only to find themselves out of their depth. And somehow, when it comes to Jon Jones' time away from the UFC, time has gone by even faster than normal. It's been over 3 years since Jones' last fight, a successful light heavyweight title defense against Dominic Reyes in February 2020.
Decision, and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world.
Since then, we've seen nearly 100 UFC events go down, and both the light heavyweight and heavyweight titles have changed hands twice. The truth is that had Bones made the move to heavyweight earlier, like he initially planned to do in the summer of 2020, he might have found success. But instead, he got into a spat with the UFC over his pay, delaying his move and potentially putting himself at a disadvantage when it comes to finding success. Not the best thing to do in hindsight. He not only lost time, but also way more of his youth. Of course, there's always the chance that Jon Jones will come back stronger than ever at heavyweight, but there's no denying that he's left his move to the division too late. There's also another problem with the move. By skipping over a tune-up fight, he's not giving himself much space to get used to the new weight class. As soon as he steps into the octagon, he'll be going head-to-head with the UFC's #1 heavyweight, Ciryl Gane.
Yes, he did.
It might be it.
Junior Dos Santos, 7-0 for Ciryl Gane.
Gane is going to be a daunting task for Jones, even more so because he's been inactive since February 2020. While there are other potential opponents in the division who match up with him much better on paper, such as Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa, Jon has decided to go straight into the deep end instead. But Jon seems determined to go all in with his heavyweight debut. If he loses this fight, any ideas of him ascending into title contention pretty much go straight out the window. It's certainly a high-risk strategy, but the rewards could be huge if he pulls it off. Sure, there's still a chance Jon could pull out a win, but to really make an impact in the heavyweight division, maybe Jon should have taken a tune-up fight first.
Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Just to get used to his new surroundings and test himself against some of the easier competition before taking on Gane.
And that is it. France has a UFC champion, Ciryl Gane, the interim UFC heavyweight champion. Total domination on the road tonight.
One of the key questions going into Jones' heavyweight debut is how he will be able to handle a much larger opponent. There's no denying that when it comes to experience, Bones has a considerable advantage over Gane, having fought in multiple title fights against some of the best light heavyweights in the world. But how will he fare against the heavier, more powerful Gane? It's difficult to say for sure. It's hard to say definitively whether Jon Jones made the right move by moving to heavyweight. On one hand, he could bring a lot of excitement and interest to the division with his star power and make some great money in the process. But on the other hand, it may have been too late for him to find success, as he hasn't competed in the UFC for over 3 years.
Now he's going for Kimura. It is all over. That's it. Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
And he's jumping straight into a high-stakes fight with one of the top contenders. Ultimately, only time will tell whether Jon made the right move or not. He could pull out an impressive win against Ciryl Gane and become a heavyweight star. But there is also a chance it could be a monumental failure for him. And that was Jon Jones' move to heavyweight.